Hey guys, I'm Urazi. This story is all about what if Naruto and the rise of the Uzumaki clan. The world believed that the Uzumaki were extinct and completely forgot about them. After years of laying low, they will re-emerge and make themselves known again to deliver vengeance to those who sought to destroy their family. Being descendants of the sage, it is also their task to keep the balance in the world by peace and war. Before we proceed with the story, please like and subscribe to this channel if you liked the video, and don't forget to check the description for the other works of the author if you liked the story. Let's start. Chapter 7, Outcasts and Orphans. Uzushiogakure Streets. Sai was walking around the village with his teammates Torin and Fu, who were released an hour after he was released. They spent the night at the guest hotel with Storm watching over them. They were discussing about their lives, what could have happened if they were not kidnapped by Danzo. Sai told his teammates that he was an orphan and had a brother whom he was forced to kill. He told them that the Yondaime Hokage planned on adopting him and his brother Shin before he died. Sai loved painting and drawing. It was his passion that he took after his brother. During his spare time he would draw and paint but could not think of a title. When the seal was removed, his works improved and he started to think of titles for his art. His art was also his weapon in battle. With a brush, ink, and a scroll, he could draw various creatures to assist or fight for him in battle. Torin then told his teammates that he was an outcast from the Aburame clan. He also had no parents. When he was younger, he accidentally killed his parents because of his lethal bugs who started living on his body when he reached the age of 3. When his clan found about it, they decided to punish him by banishment from the clan instead of death, as the death of his parents were only an accident. Fu on the other hand was from the Yamanaka clan but was also made an outcast. The clan head, Inoichi, decided to offer him to Danzo. He had no other special abilities. Just the same mind-reading jutsu of his clan. Although he later found out that he was good at kenjutsu. The three noticed that most of the villagers were giving them odd looks, while some of them openly glared. They later realized that it was because they were from Konoha. They removed their hitaites but it was already too late. That villagers have seen it. They could not blame them as they knew about Konoha's betrayal to Uzushio. Sai, being one of the top-ranking Rutambu, had privileges to read all high-classified mission. When he read about Uzushio's supposed downfall, he told his teammates about it. His teammates just had more reason to hate Konoha when Said told them about it. They were already thinking of staying in Uzushio and applying there as inhabitants. Here they could continue being a shinobi, and this time they will be able to do everything at their own will. If we join Uzushio, what about Root? Asked Torin. You can't be really thinking of going back, are you? Replied Fu. No. Of course not. I was just thinking of our other batchmates. They too were being controlled. Maybe we could ask the Uzukage for help. Said Sai. Yeah. She seems like a fair person. So we are going to apply as Uzushio citizens and then ask for a mission to help other controlled Root members. Torin said. That's pretty much it. I wonder if the other people who placed the seals on us are simply being controlled too. Fu mused. It's possible. Agreed Sai. Alright. Let's go back to the hotel and think of how we're going to convince the Uzukage to let us stay here. The other two nodded and they headed back to their hotel. Uzukage Mansion. Hello, Naruto-kun. How are you doing? Kushina asked as she entered her youngest son's room. Minato followed inside and closed the door. Ka-chan. To-chan. I'm doing well. Konan-chan taught me origami. Look. I can make foxes. I'm trying to make them move. Nagato-san, Yahiko-san, and Konan-chan taught me about chakra with the help of Nisan and Nei-chan. They also taught me some basic chakra exercises so I could make my origami move. That's wonderful, Naruto-kun. She said as she ruffled her son's hair, feeling proud. You really are a fast learner. I'm proud of you, son. We have decided to teach you basic stuff that are taught in the academy so you could catch up. In a few weeks the next term will start and you could join the academy. Minato said while beaming. Wow. I can't wait. Exclaimed Naruto. Naruto-kun. We would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind. Huh? K. What is it, Ka-chan, To-chan? Naruto-kun. How did you know about Narumi-chan's near-death experience? And who is this Kurama-chan? The boy in question looked at his parents with fear. What if they get angry? Kushina, seeing her son's worried look, tried to comfort her son. Naru-chan, we are not angry. Your To-san and I were simply curious. We are also worried of you. We've been hearing you talking to someone we cannot see. Please, tell us, baby. Naruto-kun. Tell them. And then I'll show them the memories too to make it easier to explain. Tell them from the day you discovered you are a Jinchuriki. Alright, Kurama-chan. I'll tell them. Naruto muttered while his parents waited. Ka-chan, To-chan, it started on the day I found out I was the Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi no Yoko. He then told his parents everything from the books he was reading about the shinobi wars that made him curious about the Uzumaki clan and the Rinnegan up to the point where he met Tobi sneaking into the kitchen. He then held out both his hands and stared at his parents, silently asking them if it is alright for him to touch their heads. His parents looked at him questioningly at first but agreed. Naruto then held his parents' heads as if he was praying for them as he closed his eyes. With the connection to the boy's parents now linked, Kurama channeled her chakra and shared the same memories she showed Naruto. She also showed the memory when she and Naruto first met. Excluding the part where Naruto fainted because she was naked. After she showed the memories, Naruto removed his hands from his parents' heads. The boy's parents looked dumbfounded and were silent for a few minutes, trying to digest everything that were shown to them. I can't believe it. The person whom I considered as my own brother, put me under a genjutsu and made me seal a demon into my own son. Minato said while his voice cracked. He looked at his son with mixed emotions. He suddenly grabbed the boy into a hug while tears fell down his eyes. Naruto-kun. I'm so sorry. This is all my fault. The boy returned the hug and patted his father's back. To-chan, it is all right. I'm no longer angry at you. I understand why you sealed Kurama-chan inside me. I do no blame you for every bad thing that's happened to me. Minato then nodded and chuckled at the affectionate name his son called the Kyuubi. Kurama-chan, huh? Heh. I never thought the Kyuubi was a female. Kushina murmured. Hey, Kurama. Are you listening? Why talk to my son while you never talked to me? I'm quite offended. She half-joked as she put a hand into her chest as if feeling hurt. Kurama-chan said that your seal was different from mine. While she was inside you and Mito Oba-chan, the seal was so strong and all of her chakra was sealed away, while my seal lets a small percentage of Kurama's chakra combine with mine, letting her connect to me. Naruto said. HMMMPH. Anyway, Kurama, we thank you for taking care of Naruto. We thank you for keeping him alive. Kurama-chan says it is no problem. Since she considers me as family. Thank you. Minato and Kushina both said. Kushina then changed the subject as she noticed the book that was half hidden under Naruto's pillow. So, Naru-chan, what have you read so far? She said indicating at the book. Oh. I was only able to read our clan's history with Konoha. That's where I stopped to have something to eat and met Tobi-san. You really are amazing, Naruto-kun. As a parent, I'm proud that you're very interested learning a lot of things even at your young age. You do remind me of Karen. She's just the same as you, too curious about everything. Karen. I remember seeing her name. She was the last person who signed the book before I did. Yes. It was I who assisted her when she wanted to learn about our clan. I do believe you'll meet her when you go to the academy. I can't wait to see her. How does she look like? Why, Naruto-kun. Are you interested in her? Minato joked. On. You are just like Nei-chan and Nisan. Naruto whined. Well, Naruto-kun. She's cute. She wears glasses. While your eyes are blue, hers are a pinkish red. I'm sure you'll like her. And she will definitely like you too. You're just the same. Kushina said. On. Not you too. The boy pouted while his parents chuckled at their son's reaction. Minato ruffled his son's hair while Kushina picked the boy up. Come on, Naruto-kun. Let's have something to eat. Yay. Ramen. Konoha. It had been almost a week since their village was attacked. Surprisingly, no more attacks followed. Not even minor villages or some bandits or thugs dared. They probably heard about the Konoha villagers' disease and were afraid of getting infected, so they wisely kept themselves away from the village. The effects of the laxatives have finally started to wear off. Although they are still feeling weak, they were thankful as the epidemic had finally come to an end. The Hokage had ordered everyone to begin working for the village's repairs and cleaning. Hyuga clan main house mansion. The Hyuga elders along with the current head, Hayashi, was currently in a meeting. They just finished discussing about the mysterious attackers and were now talking about their own clan's problems. Hinata is too weak. She is too gentle. She doesn't show the characteristics of a future clan head. One of the elders said. Yes, she is. Also, have you noticed her eyes? It's as if she doesn't have the Byakugan. Another one said. I have noticed that. I've been also thinking of making Hanabi my successor instead. Hayashi said. But that's unfair. Hinata's the rightful heir. One of them defended. Yes, I agree, that's quite unfair. Another one said. How about we make her fight against a branch member? If she wins, then we will consider keeping her as heir. If she loses, then we make Hanabi as your successor instead. Hinata will be branded with the caged bird seal and will be given to the branch house. Hayashi's father suggested. Everyone was silent while they thought of the condition. As someone from the main house, there was no doubt that Hinata would lose. The branch house had less opportunities and were only taught weaker versions of the main's techniques. Alright then. Let us vote. Everyone nodded as they made their decision. In the end, it was a unanimous result. Hinata would fight a branch member. If she loses, she will be branded with the caged bird seal and will be transferred to the branch family. If she wins, she keeps her title as heiress of the Hyuga clan. Who is she going to fight? One of the elders asked. Hisashi's son, Neji, will be Hinata's opponent. Hayashi said. I see. So when are they going to fight? Let the village recuperate first. We will schedule the match in 2 days. Have both fighters prepare for their battle starting today so that they will be ready. If that's so, then let us call this meeting adjourned. I shall go now and inform Hanabi that she will be heir. Why, Hayashi-san, the result of the match has not even decided yet. We still do not know who's going to win. My daughter of a weakling is no match against Neji. Hayashi replied coldly as he stood up and left the room. Everyone followed suit and left the room, going to their own business to do. Uchiha clan compound. A certain raven-haired boy could be seen running on the compound's streets. He just got back from the training grounds, training by himself as his brother was too busy for him. Ka-chan. The boy said as he stopped and entered their house. I'm home. I've done some training. He said excitedly as he removed his shoes and went to the living room. Sasuke-kun, look at you. You're so dirty. And your clothes. Why are they singed? His mother said as she fussed over her son. I've been trying to do the fireball jutsu. Sasuke grinned proudly. Heh. You will never catch up to me. While you are learning the fireball jutsu, I'll be learning a new stronger technique. A new voice said. Now, Sasami-chan. No need to say that to your brother. Why don't you teach him and help him with his training? Their mother said as she got Sasuke fresh clothes to wear. HN. Sasami just scoffed while Sasuke stared at his sister. She and he were actually twins. Sasami was 6 minutes older than him. Although they were twins, they were strongly different and were opposite. Sasuke was a very kind and considerate boy while his twin was an arrogant bitch and has a superiority complex. Just like everybody else in the clan. He figured that maybe everyone, save him, were all stuck-up arrogant pricks. Sasami was just like their brother, Itachi. She too was also a prodigy, while Sasuke was always trying hard to catch up to his siblings. Although he still kept positive and cheerful even though his father doesn't approve of him, only seeing him as a weakling. So he constantly asked his siblings to train with him but to no avail. Itachi was too busy with his duties while his twin sister was too selfish. Realizing no one's going to help him with his training, he had gone off to the Uchiha clan's library and began studying all by himself. He had decided to train by himself to impress his family. His mother, Mikoto, had been worried about him and offered him help. He politely refused, stating that he needed to learn things on his own so that they would be proud of him. Mikoto returned and handed her son a set of fresh clothes. Go and change. Lunch will be ready. Your father and your brother will be arriving soon. Sasami, you help me prepare the table. Sasuke nodded as he took the clothes and went to change. Soon the door opened and Hyuga entered the house followed by Itachi. To-chan. Nisan. Sasami greeted excitedly. Hyuga smiled warmly at his daughter and ruffled her hair affectionately. How's your training? He asked. It's great, To-chan. I'm almost finished with the Phoenix Jutsu. That's great. I'm so proud of you, my daughter. Sasuke returned to the dining room and heard his father and his twins' interaction. He felt sad and jealous as his father never praised him. He never addressed him as his son. His father told him to address him as Toyu-sama while Sasami was free to call him To-chan or whatever she wanted to. He sadly pulled out a chair and sat down. Mikoto did not notice her youngest son's expression as she was busy preparing their meal. Itachi sat next to him and he was surprised when he was greeted by him. Hello, Sasuke. The said, startling the boy. How are you doing? The boy felt happy and his spirits lifted up as his brother and idol inquired about him. I'm doing fine, Itachi-san. I can almost do the fireball jutsu. Sasuke said while beaming proudly. The elder brother smiled at his brother for a moment. That's good, Sasuke. But you will never be as good as your sister. You are a failure and a weakling. Remember that. Itachi said, making the boy frown and bow his head, feeling heartbroken. His brother just insulted him. Again. Why are you like that, Nisan? You are slowly becoming like father. Why do you always approve of Sasami while you ignore and degrade me? Sasuke sadly thought as his vision became blurry, tears started to form, threatening to fall down. Ish little Sasuke crying. Sasami teased as she heard her older brother insult her twin. I will not have a crying weakling inside this house. Hyuga roared angrily. Mikoto came to her youngest son to comfort him as Sasuke was now openly crying. Her husband got angrier and told her to leave the boy be. She reluctantly released her son from her arms and sat beside him as they ate their lunch. They sat in silence for a few minutes as they ate their food. As their stomachs slowly got filled, Itachi spoke. I still haven't seen it, father. How disappointing. The demon has gone away missing from our radar. It would seem that its stealth skills have improved. I'll have more look for it and double the efforts. That demon brat must be found before the Hokage-sama starts to realize its absence. If he does, the Uchiha clan would be more likely scorned by those damned elders if they were awake. If we lose Konoha's only Jinchuriki and the other nations find about it, we will be in great danger. The demon brat must be found immediately. Mikoto butted in. Sasuke, meanwhile, was listening to the conversation as he silently ate. He was quite surprised when he heard his mother say the word demon brat. Sasuke knew who his family was talking about. He had seen the blonde boy, whom the villagers called the demon brat, a couple of times getting chased and beaten by the villagers. Sasuke never saw the blonde as the demon, he only saw a poor, scared, and a lonely child who wanted and needed some love. He felt sorry for the boy as he saw himself in him. Like him, he just wanted to be accepted and be treated as a person. Sasuke actually wanted to be friends with the boy, but he never got the chance. He had asked his brother Itachi about him and asked why everyone treated him bad. He also told his brother that he felt sorry for the boy. When his twin found out about Sasuke feeling sympathy for the demon brat, she immediately told their parents and Sasuke got a beating from his father and a long scolding from his mother. Sasami teased him and called him a demon lover. After that day, he never asked anyone about the blonde boy again. Although he still felt sympathy for the boy and wished that he could help him defeat the mobs if he could only do the fireball jutsu. When he heard his brother and his parents talking about him going missing, he somewhat felt happy for the blonde as he knew that nobody from Konoha could harm him anymore. Now he could only pray and hope that the whiskered boy, wherever he was safe from any kind of harm. Takigakure. A girl with green hair and orange eyes could be seen running in the streets. She was escaping from a huge mob who was trying to kill her. To her, this was normal as she got used to the villagers hating her and trying to murder her. Girl, this way. Quickly. Before they see us. A voice whispered. The girl listened to the voice and followed. She turned to a narrow passageway and saw 4 masked people waiting for her. Quick. Here, use this. One of them who sounded feminine said as she passed her a cloak. The girl took it and quickly draped it over her. The 4 unknown people motioned for her to follow. They ran for about 15 minutes and ended up in a clearing deep inside the village's outer forests. Here. The female said as she passed the girl a bottle of water. Thanks. She said as she quickly drained the bottle and asked for more. The masked female passed her another bottle while she gratefully took it. Are you all right? One of them asked. Yes. Thank you. The green-haired girl said. Why did you save me? What? What kind of question is that? Why did you save me? Everybody here in the village hates me. We know about that. That is why we saved you. We are not from here. Our leader heard about how Takigakure treated you and decided to save you. So here we are. She's telling the truth. I feel no deception. You can trust them. A voice spoke in the girl's mind. You know about me? Yes. You guys know exactly why the people hate me? Yes. Wow. And you are not afraid of me going on a rampage and start killing you off for no apparent reason? You do not hate me. Of course not. You see, the village we came from accepts people like you. We treat your kind as heroes for keeping them at bay. Are you guys from Kumo? No. But you said you do not scorn people like me. We do not, yes. We're sorry, but we cannot tell you of our origin. But we assure you that we mean you no harm. We'd like you to come with us. You've seen how the people treated you here. Come with them, Fu. You will be safe with them. All right then. I'm coming with you. We will stay here for the night. We leave tomorrow. We'll create a blood clone of you to send it to the village so they will not get suspicious. So that's just your mission? To take me with you? The leader of the group raised an eyebrow, although the green-haired girl could not see it. Yes. Is there anything else you'd like us to do? Well, yeah. I kind of thought you might want something else from Takigakure aside from me. I mean, there's classified information, jutsus owned by this village, and some other useful stuff that can be used against them in the future. Well, our task was to find you and take you with us. We cannot do anything else aside it. Yeah, I know that. I have a proposition for you then, which both ends will actually benefit your village, the way I see it. And what is that? I will come with you. But, before I do, you will help me steal Taki's most prized possessions and kinjutsus. Including the hero's water. She said. The Storm got silent. She continued. I know where those stuff are located. Also, the hero's water, I believe, will be ready for harvest tomorrow after its 100-year cooldown. I'll lead you to the place where Taki keeps the gathered hero's water as well. The green-haired Jinchuriki's rescuers widened their eyes upon hearing the girl's request. They were silent as they thought of the consequences if they agreed to it. The 4 talked to themselves. Well, damn. It is a good offer. Well, yes. We're talking about acquiring classified information here. Plus we're having Taki's most prized jutsus. And the hero's water too. Well, it is part of the girl's deal. We take them, the girl comes with us, and our mission gets completed. The Uzukage will be pleased. All right. We agree to her deal. All right. They agreed and they all turned to the Nanabe Jinchuriki. The leader spoke. All right. We will do it, We will take this village's most prized possessions and forbidden techniques, including the hero's water. Yes. I'll help you collect them. We prepare today. We'll take everything we need tomorrow and leave immediately once we have what we want. By the way, what is your name? My name's Fu. Although I do not have a surname. I'm an orphan. We understand that. Most people who are like you lived in isolation. But do not worry, once we get you out of here, you will have your family to call. Thank you. You're welcome, Fu. Now, let us make plans. Tsunagakure. A red-haired boy could be seen on the balcony of the Kazekage's mansion. He was currently reminiscing the events that he have experienced in his life. Gaara was a very kind boy. He liked to help those who were in need without asking anything for return. All he ever wanted was to make a lot of friends, since he really have no one to call as a friend. He never understood why those people he was trying to help were very afraid of him. The first time he experienced a weird incident was that time when he tried to help capture a boy's pet eagle that escaped its cage. As he was trying to reach for the bird that perched on a roof, the eagle started attacking him viciously. He felt too scared as he was only 3 by then. He tried to cover his face from getting scratched. And then he blacked out. To everyone's surprise who were watching, a huge arm made out of sand suddenly came out from his right arm and caught the bird. The sand arm then began squeezing the bird and suddenly closed its hand, crushing the eagle, and splattering some blood and feathers. The boy who was the owner of the bird along with his family were watching the incident. They started to bolt away from the red-haired boy in fear. A few moments later Gaara regained consciousness and found himself alone. He looked around and noticed his right arm was bloody. He panicked as he saw his bloody right arm and began to cry. There was also this incident when he was 4, he went to the playground to play with the other kids there and make friends. But the story about him crushing an eagle was known to most children. When the other children saw him, they ran away in fear. Gaara then was left alone feeling miserable. He took a seat in one of the swings and began to cry. As he was busy crying, he did not notice 2 masked people approach him, both carrying kunais. Gaara looked up in time and saw a masked man swing a kunai at him. His body froze in fear and was not able to move. His mind went blank. When he regained consciousness, he was confused to find 2 huge pools of blood. He also noticed that his face and his clothes have blood splatters. He ran back to his home to look for his siblings for help. Gaara's older siblings, Temari and Kankuro, watched their baby brother lean in the balcony in silence. Ever since Gaara was born, there had been assassination attempts on him. Temari and Kankuro eventually found out that it was their father who kept on sending assassins after their little brother. They considered confronting their father about it but decided not to. They simply agreed to themselves to keep their little brother from harm. They loved him and did their best to protect him and help him deal with his problems. Although Gaara started to become a little distant when he reached the age of 5. On his 5th birthday, he met the Shukaku for the first time in his mindscape. The Shukaku then tried to convince him that it was his mother. The Shukaku told him that she was the one responsible for him staying alive after numerous attempts on his life. It also told him that it was his father who wanted him dead. Gaara then believed his mother. Since then, they had a mental link and his mother would constantly talk to him. Although he was scared because 7 months after they met, most of the time she would just scream in his head and tell him to kill everyone who does him bad. It was his kind and loving nature that helped him keep his sanity and kept him from going into a murder spree. He was starting to doubt of the Shukaku and thought if it really was his mother. Thankfully, he heard about the Uzukage wanting him to stay at Uzushio. He was told that he will stay there for at least 5 years, along with his siblings. He was excited at the prospect of having friends in a new environment where people would not hate him or be afraid of him. He was brought out of his thoughts when he heard movement. His sand armor immediately went up and got ready for a fight. "Whoa, calm down, Otauto. It's just us," Kankuro said while raising his hands into a surrender. "Oh. Forgive me, Nisan, Ne-chan. I got startled," Gaara said while bowing. "It is all right, Gaara-kun," Temari said as she reached out for her little brother and hugged him. "So what have you been thinking of lately? You seemed so silent." Has the Shokaku been bothering you? I was just thinking of our trip to Uzushiogakure. The Uzukage said that her son is just like me. I can't wait to see him and become friends. Tamari and Kankuro smiled upon hearing him. Do not worry, I'm sure you will be great friends. Yeah. So when are we leaving? I want to get out of this place already. Shokaku's starting to give me headaches. She's been talking to me non-stop about murdering people. Don't worry, Gaara-kun. We will be leaving in 3 days. Just hold her off for now, okay? Kankuro said as he ruffled his little brother's hair. Okay. Gaara replied, smiling at his siblings. The Uzukage secretly talked to him and his siblings and told them that they planned to fix Gaara's seal so that he will be able to interact more with people without the Shokaku screaming in his head for bloody murder. The siblings then went back inside the mansion to have lunch. Uzushiogakure, council meeting. Uzukage-sama, I and my friends offer you our undying loyalty. We would like for your approval to let us join your ranks. Also, under your watch, we would like to come back to Konoha to free our comrades. We strongly believe that they will be a good addition to Uzushiagakure's forces. We intend on making up a story to make most of the root members come to an agreed location where you will be waiting so that you could subdue them and remove their seals. We will help on persuading them to join your cause. Sai said as he and his 2 companions bowed their heads to the council. The council members along with the Uzukage, Minato, and Kaide talked to themselves. These council members mostly came from clans that did not originate from Uzushio. Most of the clan heads came from various shinobi villages and hid themselves from their original villages. They repopulated with the other clan members that also came from another village, making their offspring the ultimate juggernauts. Their great-grandchildren have now multi-bloodlines and they secretly work for Uzushiogakure while they are hidden in the shadows of their great-grandparents' former villages, keeping a watchful eye. The council members group are unknown and only the Uzukage and the former Uzukages knew about their ancestry. Author's note, thanks and credits to Like a Pro for the idea for the council members. After about 10 minutes of talking, they have agreed to let Sai, Torun, and Fu to join Uzushiagakure's forces and will be under probation for a month as genins. If they pass, they will be inducted to the academy and will learn of Uzushiagakure's teachings for 6 months. After they are taught, they will graduate and will be promoted to the rank of Chunin. Then they will be finally allowed to return to Konoha and have the remaining Root Umbu members go to an agreed location where they will be ambushed and have their seals removed. If the freed person chooses to join Uzushiogakure, they will undergo the same process as the first 3, Sai, Torun, and Fu, had. Otherwise, if they chose not to join Uzushiogakure and remain loyal to Konoha, they will be executed. We thank you for your kindness, Uzukage-sama, Yondaime-sama. We swear that we will do whatever we can to help Uzushiogakure and to return the favor you have given us. The 3 former Root members said as they bowed their heads in gratitude. Welcome to Uzushiogakure, Sai, Torun, Fu. Please follow Kaide and he will lead you outside. You will be given a whole month of free time. Do as you wish. The Uzukage said as she raised her hand, ending the council meeting. Please follow me. The storm commander said as they got out of the room. Here are your passes. This will let the villagers know that you are on probation. This will also be your ticket to be able to buy something from shops. Just present it to them at the counter. Enjoy your stay. I hope that you will prove to be a great addition to Uzushiagakure's forces after a month. Thank you, Kaide-sama. We'll take our leave. The 3 said as they took their passes and bowed. Kaide-san shined to the storm HQ as the 3 walked away. Uzukage's mansion, Naruto's room. The Uzumaki clan are known to the world as Fuinjutsu masters. They feared us because of our efficiency with it. A Fun master who is a non-Uzumaki are only at an adept level compared to an Uzumaki. This is why our clans hailed as Fuinjutsu masters. Sealing is just one of our basic abilities. One of our secrets is the Rinnegan. Nobody else from Uzushiogakure knew about our sacred dojutsu. Those who came from different villages that have encountered the Samsara eyes have died in battle. Naruto skipped the Rinnegan part as he have already read its info from another book. He scanned to the next chapter and read something about another secret. Kaiten, or also known as blood release, is another secret of the Uzumaki clan. This is considered as kinjutsu as it requires blood sacrifice from the user. The kiden is one of the ancient jutsus that were used during the time of the sage, where royal creatures known as vampires were at large. It had been passed down to the Hagoromo clan and until now, we Uzumakis use it. Most kiden jutsus have been used along with the art of fun. Seals become more deadly with the aid of kiden. While other non-fun jutsus are blood-controlled, these techniques could be used to control the bodies of the enemies, use another person's blood to heal the user, or use it for rituals such as summoning. Naruto turned to the next page and read some of the strongest kiden jutsus. On the very first paragraph of the page, there was a warning. Descendant, it is highly required that you should become a jonin first before you begin practicing the art of blood release. Blood bending allows the user to control another body of a living creature. The user becomes technically a puppeteer as he could will the victim to move and make it do whatever the user pleases. He could also use the blood to run into different directions at high speeds and make the body of the victim explode. To be able to perform blood bending, the user must be a proficient Sutten user first as blood is technically also liquid but denser than water. Vampire's Bite allows the user to suck the victim's blood, turning it into positive chemicals that heal the user and also replenish chakra. Vampire's Seduction, the victim becomes devoted to the user for an amount of time, depending on the amount of blood the victim intakes from the user. The user has to feed the victim more blood if the user wishes to prolong the seduction. Blood Summoning allows the user to summon creatures such as gargoyles and bats to aid them in battle or other situations. Those under the effect of the vampire's seduction can also be summoned. There were plenty of other kiden jutsus, but Naruto decided to skip them in the meantime as he could not perform the art yet. He turned to the next chapter and read it. Sirens are ancient creatures that dwell underwater. These creatures are also masters of the Sutten. Another thing that made them known for are their voices. They use their voices to sing a melodic tune that could hypnotize their enemies, making the victims easier to kill as they become defenseless once they are under their genjutsu. Sirens have been long friends with the Uzumaki clan. They have their own civilization underwater and each and every one of them are entitled to help should Uzushiogakure require their assistance. Sirens could also be summoned using the summoning jutsu once the user have become a fully pledged genin. Naruto continued to read the book about sirens and learned more about them. When he was finished, he turned to the next chapter. Dragons are the personal summons of the Uzumaki clan. Each dragon becomes automatically bound to one Uzumaki clan member. In order for the Uzumaki Ryu blood pact to activate, the Uzumaki clan member must be brought to Terra and presented to Wadatsumi, 3 days after the Uzumaki clan member's birth. Once presented, Wadatsumi, the god of dragons, will decide on who will be the Uzumaki clan member's dragon partner. The Uzukage's family have the liberty to summon more dragons besides their personal summon. Those who have the Uzumaki Ryu pact will receive a mark on their shoulder proving them as one with the dragon clan. Summoning a dragon requires a lot of chakra. The chakra required to summon boss summons such as Gamabunta, Katsuyu, and Manda are 24 times more in order to summon a dragon. This adds a reason why the dragon contract is exclusive only to the Uzumaki clan, since our clan are born with a very huge chakra pool. Damn. 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 If that cursed village did not kidnap me, I would have my own dragon summon already. Naruto shouted in exasperation. Whoa, Naruto-kun. Please calm down. Kurama told him as she freaked out for a moment that her host might get really angry and transform into Kyubi again. I'm sorry, Kurama-chan. I just got, ugh. I hate Konoha. The boy said as he rubbed his head. You know, you could ask your parents about your dragon summon. They could arrange a meeting with Wadatsumi-sama. Alright, I'll ask them later. Naruto said. A few moments later there was a knock on the door. Naruto opened it and revealed Konan, Nagato, and Yahiko. Hello, Naruto-kun. How are you doing? Konan said as she hugged the boy. I'm doing great, Konan-chan. I've been practicing making origami move with my chakra. That's good to hear. Now, let us get back to your training. The 3 jonins spent their afternoon training Naruto. Nagato taught him about the concept of ninjutsus while Yahiko taught him about basic fuinjutsu. Konan helped him with the origami mastery. Unknown location. Konoha's defenses are still weak at the moment. I need you to go there and become my spy. Offer them your services and join their ranks. A snaky voice said. It will be done, Tio-sama. Replied a female voice. Good luck, Anko-chan. Iwagakure. A short old man could be seen sitting behind his desk, reading a highly classified document. When he was done, he put the folder down and cleared his throat, calling for the people hidden inside his office. Get me Kurachochi and Akechochi. Hi. 10 minutes later, a tall man and a girl with short hair entered the room. Chuchikage-sama, you called? The tall man bowed. Onakijiji. What is it that you want? The girl asked cheerfully. Here, read this. The old man said as he showed the two the folder he was reading earlier. They curiously took it and silently read its contents. Name, Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. Age, 4 or 5. Location, Konoha. Description, known in his village as the Kyuba brat. Jinchuriki of the Kyuba no Yoko. Sealed to him by the Yondaime Hokage when he was newly born the night the Kyubi attacked Konoha. His parents are Minato Namikaze, who was also known as the Yellow Flash, and Kushina Uzumaki Namikaze, who was known as the Red Death. Naruto had been living his life as an outcast, and if compared to how most Jinchurikis are treated, the boy's life in Konoha was worse than all Jinchuriki's life combined. We also believe that the boy has an unknown Kekai Genkai that is dormant. Wow, Jiji. Where did you get this? The girl asked. From our spies in Konoha, of course. They have discovered who the boy's parents are. Most of Konoha have no clue that he is their Yondaime's son. Funny how they treated their hero's legacy. The Chuchikage said while chuckling to himself. He's kinda cute. The girl remarked as she stared at the boy's picture. It's such a shame he's so lonely. He could spend some lonely time with me when he gets older. Hee 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 hee. Anyway, the old man said, gaining the girl's attention. I'm sending you two to infiltrate Konoha. Retrieve the boy and bring him here to Iwa. Try not to harm him. We need to gain the boy's trust and add him to our forces. When he's old enough, we'll pair him to our strongest kunoichis and we will have his bloodline, whatever it is. Ugh. I want to be his first wife. Kurachochi said dreamily while blushing. Heh. It would be ironic once we have him in our hands. We will turn him against Konoha. The way they treated him, no doubt the boy's already planning ways of their downfall. Akechuchi said. Indeed. Onaki agreed. Anyway, I want him brought here unharmed. We need to gain the boy's trust. This will be considered as an S-rank mission. Understood. Hi. Good. Now go and retrieve the Yellow Flash's son. Somewhere. Our spies say that Konoha's epidemic has finally come to an end. While they are still weak from it, I need you four to go there and do what we have failed to do 2 years ago. A heavy and raspy voice said. This time, make sure you bring the Hyuga heiress to me. Hi, Raikage-sama. Chapter 8, Kidnapped. 2 days after the events on Chapter 7. Konohagakure. Life in Konoha was expected to go back to normal after the attack. But no, the village have started to get more problems little by little instead. At first, they were having trouble gaining income as most of their contractors have pulled out. Only the fire capital was now left to support their finances. Second was medication and treatment for those who had been wounded during the attack and those who were still sick. The Sandaime Hagake was now feeling regretful, declining his student Tsunade's request for Konoha's medical improvement and advanced training. Now that his student was believed to have died during the attack on Uzushiogakure, he now realized his village really did need the medical program. Third problem was, all the villagers were low on morale. Even the shinobi on duty have become jumpy whenever they sense movement. Worst of all, the civilian council had been pestering him ever since the day the epidemic have ceased. They would constantly demand for a meeting and wanted their lost businesses compensated. But due to the economic problem the village was facing, Sarutobi could not just give away the money from Konoha's coffers to everyone who have lost valuables during the attack. The Shinobi Council thankfully did not bother him that much, but they were starting to. The clan heads were trying to find a solution to their clan's problems by not relying on their Hokage too much. But they were now having problems. The Inuzuka clan members' noses were still burned due to the strong smell the attack and the epidemic produced. They were also experiencing slight ringing on their ears that made them dizzy. This was because of the lightning flash the unknown attackers did. While the Hyuga clan members were starting to recover, those who had been near the flash were still half blind. The Aburame clan's bugs were agitated, while the Yamanaka clan's also getting minor headaches. The Akamika clan have asked for assistance just this morning as their food supplies were starting to get low. With no food to eat, they will be of no help when placed on duty as their bodies needed constant food. Only the Nara clan seemed to have no problem, or they were probably feeling too lazy to even bother at all. The Sandaime Hokage have also noticed the Uchiha clan having some problems. Although he still has no idea what it was about, he sensed that the clan tasked for the police force were hiding something from him. Konoha gates. At the gates, 2 gate guards were looking like they wanted to die. Needless to say, they were bored, since they were always assigned on gate guard duty. It was early in the morning and one of the 2 yawned lazily and spoke to his partner. Ugh. This is so boring. I wish something happens. He said as he yawned again. Oh please, no. Don't say that, Kotetsu. The last time you asked for it, 10 hours later the village got raided. I don't think I'd like another raid. I'd rather do this gate guard duty thing without a hitch. Replied his partner. Oh man. You're right, Izumo. Heh. Sorry. He chuckled while he scratched his head and looked over the road past the huge gates and squinted his eyes, noticing something. Hey, wait, look. What is that? Kotetsu pointed out to the road. Oh crap. Something's happening. Damn it. Why did you have to whine earlier? Izumo said, now feeling a bit anxious as he also stared past the gates. He could see a figure slowly approaching but could not clearly see it as the figure looked like it was wearing a cloak. Oh, shit. Do we alert the Umbu? Wait. Let's continue watching it first. I'm sure the Umbu hidden would have also sensed this cloaked figure's slow arriving presence. Kotetsu said. Although he stood up and had his hands on the hilt of his weapon and got into a stance. Izumo followed suit and drew out a kunai and also went into a stance. The Umbu that was hidden noticed the 2 guards stood up moving into a defensive stance and they too got alert. The 2 gate guards anxiously waited for the figure to approach. As it got nearer, they started to see an outline of a woman wearing a cloak. As the woman came into view, they noticed that she was limping and her clothing were damaged and had blood spots on the holes, indicating her wounds. Quickly. Someone call a medic team. Izumo and Kotetsu both shouted as they rushed to the woman to help. The wounded woman tripped and slowly fell. Thankfully Izumo managed to catch her before she hit the ground. The 2 guards heard that her breathing was ragged. They almost jumped in fright when the woman screamed. No. Please, stop. No more. Just take our items. Please let us go. They realized that the woman was unaware that she was not in any kind of danger. She thought that she was still in whatever place she came from. Hey, miss. Calm down. You're all right. Izumo said as he gently shook the woman. No. What dash? The woman seemed to realize now that someone was gently shaking her. Hey, it's all right. You're safe now. Kotetsu said. Where am I? You do not know. The 2 guards asked, intrigued. So you really was walking unconsciously here, huh? Anyway, you're at Konoha. Konoha? You're a Konoha ninja, aren't you? She asked nervously. Well, yeah. They both replied. The woman widened her eyes as she started to go hysterical. Please, help us. We got ambushed. They started killing off my family. What? Who? Rogue Shinobi. Please, help me. My family. No. They're dead. No, they're not dead. But they killed them. Please help me. She said as she started to sob. Rogue Shinobi. I saw their headbands. Iwa and Kumo. My family and I were wanderers. I and my father was the only one who knew about the shinobi arts. I tried to fight. But my father told me to flee before he got killed. No. No, no. They're not dead. She screamed as she started to stand up. We need to go back. We need to help them. We need to dash. Her sentence was cut off as she finally lost consciousness. Kotetsu caught her and helped Izumo carry her to a stretcher as the medics have finally arrived along with the Hokage. What happened? The Hokage asked as the medics checked on the woman's pulse. The guards then told him what the women have told them. Sir, her life is not in danger. She fainted due to emotional stress and physical stress from combat. We're going to take her to the hospital now. The lead medic said as they carried the unconscious woman inside the village to get treated. Rogiwa and Kumo shinobi? Could it be? The Hokage silently thought to himself as he blew on his pipe. You two, I want a detailed report about this incident after your shift. Now, go back to your posts. Hi. The two said as they went back to their boring job. 3 hours later, Konoha Hospital. The woman slowly regained consciousness and opened her eyes, finding herself in a white room. She heard a beeping sound and realized she was at the hospital. So, you're finally awake. A voice said. The woman looked up and saw a nurse wearing round glasses holding a clipboard. Rogiwa and Kumo shinobi, huh? Well. Who wouldn't have believed your story? You sounded very convincing. Oh well, I guess great acting really runs in our family. Anko ne-chan. The woman panicked and silently berated herself for being caught too easily. She was now freaking out but did not show it. She stared at the nurse and calmly spoke. I do not know what you are talking about. Drop the act. We're the only ones here. You do not have to worry about people knowing about your identity. Your secret is safe with me. Who are you? What? You do not recognize me? I'm hurt. Anko stared at the man closely and memories of a boy with round glasses flashed in her mind. Kabuto Otauto. Ne-chan. I'm glad you still know me. I missed you. Kabuto said as he hugged the woman who now turned out to be his elder sister. I missed you too, Kabuto-kun. I'm sorry I didn't recognize you sooner. Anko said as she returned the hug. Heh. It's alright. So what brings you here? To-chan asked me to join Konoha's forces and to spy for him. To-chan? How is he? Where is he now? I got loads of things to tell him. We haven't heard about you two for ages. Well, ever since he defected from this village, he's been hiding in places. We never stayed in a place for more than 3 days. We were constantly on the move. I see. Well, the next time you report to him, tell him that Ka-chan and I need to talk to him personally. We've got some message to relay. Why don't you tell me? Sorry, it is an SS class secret. It's not that I trust you. But I'm just being careful. I see. So how's Ka-chan doing? She's fine. She's also one of the head medics here. You'll meet her later. Anyway, I have to go. I've stayed here for too long. Alright. I'll see you when I get released. Anko said as she went back to bed. Yeah, see you later then. Kabuto said as he exited the room. Finally. I'm home. Anko thought as she went back to sleep. Hyuga compound. The whole family, both main and branch, have gathered to the Hyuga clan's arena to watch the match between the heiress and her cousin who was from the branch family. Everybody knew what will happen if the heiress loses. While the branch family hated the main house, they felt sorry for Hinata as they knew she was different from the main family and have already expressed her intentions on removing the caged bird seal from the branch members and finally combining both houses into one again. The person who was going to be her opponent, on the other hand, felt different. Neji hated Hinata and blamed her for the death of his father. 2 years ago, she almost got kidnapped by Kumo shinobi but was saved. The Raikage demanded compensation for his dead shinobi's lives and the Hyuga clan offered Hizushis to be placed on their stead. Hizushi was then brought to Kumo only to be killed and his body and eyes to be examined. Neji was then left an orphan. The Hyuga clan members took their seats and waited for the match to start as the two combatants got into the gentle fist stance. Hajime! A Hyuga referee shouted as he jumped back to the seats. The two did not move and waited for the other to make an attack first. You cannot win. Fate has decided that I should win. In the end, you will be branded the caged bird seal like us. Your path is to walk the road of the branch members, Neji said coldly. No. IIC cannot lose T to UU. I am going to W win. ANO once IB became HR, IW will abolish T the C caged B bird seal. Hinata stuttered nervously, although her declaration made most of the branch family members cheer for her. It is my destiny to win. You will become a servant. Now, prepare to lose. Neji shouted as he dashed at the heiress. He sent a roundhouse kick that connected to the girl's jaw, sending her flying to the wall. Neji did not relent and immediately went after her to perform another hit. Hinata quickly recovered and was able to block a punch that was sent to her face. Her opponent attempted another hit, sending her a knee kick. Once again she was able to block it and counterattacked by performing a strong palm strike to her opponent's chest, sending him crashing away. You got lucky. But your luck will run out now. I am to win by fate. The boy said as he quickly stood up and got into a stance. Both fighters ran to each other with the intent to maim. Hinata was getting fed up with his cousin's fate crap, while Neji's ego was damaged as he got hit by someone whom he called a weakling. Both threw out deadly strikes. The sound of punches, jabs, kicks, and slaps were heard throughout the arena. Neji was able to make most of his attacks hit his opponent while Hinata was having trouble keeping up with him. After about 3 minutes of close fighting, both fighters disengaged and watched each other. Neji now had a few bruises on his body and face while his chest felt like it was getting squeezed as he got hit by a palm strike for more than 10 times. Hinata on the other hand was bleeding. Her eye was swollen while the other had a cut. She had more bruises and hers were bigger. Her body now felt sore. Neji could hear Hinata's tired breathing and decided to end the match. Once again, he charged while his opponent got into the main house's stance. He simply smirked as he knew what she was going to do and he already had a counter for the move. As he approached the heiress with a flying kick, Hinata shifted her footing and caught it. She immediately used her fingers to close Neji's tenketsu points on his leg. This infuriated the boy and made him attack even more viciously as he failed to counter-attack the move that closed his leg's tenketsu points. He used his other foot for a knee kick and was able to hit the girl in the stomach, making her double in pain and cough out some blood. He took a step back and got into a main house stance. You are within my field of divination, Neji proclaimed, making everyone in the arena gasp. Impossible. He's bluffing. He couldn't possibly know that technique. How did he learn that technique? He's a branch member. How? Many thought to themselves as they watched in anticipation. Hakurokyu Yansho, Gentle Fist Art, 8 trigrams 64 palms. Neji shouted as he began striking Hinata, closing off her tenketsu points. Enisho. Yansho. Hakisho. Jurokusho. Sanjuyunisho. Rokyuju Yansho. His last set of attacks hit Hinata square in the chest, sending her crashing to the wall and making her cough out huge amounts of blood. Most of the clan, especially from the main house, were in disbelief of Neji being able to perform the Hakurokyu Yansho as it was only taught to the main house members. One of the elders who defended Hinata during the meeting was the first one to recover and jumped down to the arena as she saw Neji charging at Hinata with a killing blow. The elder was able to interfere between the two and sealed off the boy's arms and legs tenketsu points. That's enough, Neji. You have already won. There is no need to kill the heiress. The elder said sternly. She is not the heiress. Not anymore. Neji said coldly as he started to walk away. You got lucky today, Hinata. Fate has decided for you to live. But do not worry, I'm going to kill you in another time. Father, forgive me for not being able to do it. I will wait for the time our paths cross again. Only fate knows when. When that happens, I will make sure to kill her. And then you will be avenged, father. The elder watched the boy exit the arena and then looked at Hinata sadly and carefully detached her from the wall. I'm so sorry, Hinata-chan. she told the girl as she waited for the medics to arrive. In the stands, the spectators were starting to recover from their shock. They just witnessed a branch member beat down a main member, and exclusively, the heiress, using one of the main family's technique. Whoa! That was unexpected. Said by a branch member. I should have known. Said another one. Of course. The main family's right. She's a weakling. Commented by another one. Who were we kidding? She just got our hopes up. But in the end, she still lost. We'll never be free from this cursed seal. Not when the heiress is such a weakling. Yeah. Most of the branch members were thinking and saying of the same thing. There were only less than 5 branch members who were still grateful to Hinata even if she lost. Soon the crowd got into an uproar. Buh! Weakling! Welcome to the branch family! Ha 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 ha! The elder and Hinata sadly listened, while the former glared at the crowd. You ungrateful bastards! The elder hissed. Thankfully the medics finally arrived to take the now former heiress to the hospital to be given medical attention and to get away from the clan members who were now hostile against her. I'm so sorry, oh Bachan. I failed. Hinata weakly whispered as she started to sob. Shhhh, it's alright, Hinata-chan. Do not worry, everything's going to be fine. She tried to calm the girl as she was taken away by the medics. Uzushiogakure. Uzukage's private training grounds. Kaboom! Explosions could be heard from the Uzukage's mansion. When the people heard it for the first time, a lot of storm quickly gathered to inspect the area. They thought something bad happened but only found the lost maelstrom training. They were now starting to get used to the explosions. During the last few days, Konan, Nagato, and Yahiko had trained Naruto hard so that he could master a few techniques before they left for their mission to Omegakure. On the last day of their training, Naruto have finally mastered Konan's paper manipulation. He could now create and fold dozens of origami using only chakra and send them flying into a target. Yahiko taught him the substitution jutsu and the transformation jutsu. Naruto could now substitute himself to anything that was within 10-meter radius. He is still training so that he could perform the substitution with another object farther than 10 meters. Surprisingly, Naruto was able to perfect the henge 2 hours after Yahiko showed it to him. Nagato taught him a few basic sealing techniques. He taught Naruto how to make storage seals and weighing seals to be used for training. Nagato was surprised when Naruto showed him an exploding seal. He had no idea how the boy learned about it. He later figured out that the Naruto learned to do it himself from reading the books he got from the bookstore owner, Nami. Nagato silently prayed to the gods that the Uzukage won't kill him because Naruto now knows about explosive seals. Even though the knowledge Naruto has about it were basic, it was still dangerous as he could get himself blown up should he make a mistake with drawing the seal. On their last day to Uzushio, Naruto asked his 3 senseis to watch him perform the techniques they taught him. The boy was also excited to show them something new he learned by himself. The 3 watched in a distance as Naruto showed them his new technique. They were very proud of him when he was able to show them everything they have taught him and perform those techniques perfectly. Look! I got this idea when I learned the exploding seal. Naruto shouted excitedly. Naruto then took out a dozen explosive tags that he made. Using his chakra, he formed the tags into origami. He made 11 cranes and 1 huge fox. Next he set them off flying to a target. Behold! This is my art. You see these origami? I'll show them to my enemies in the battlefield. They will be awed with my art. When the cranes reach their target, they... Naruto trailed off as he made a single hand sign. Katsu. 11 consecutive booms were heard as the cranes reached their dummy target and exploded. They explode. Naruto cheered happily. But wait, there's more. He said as the huge paper fox reached the target. Katsu. Kaboom. Art. Is an explosion. Naruto said happily. Meanwhile, his 3 senseis watched in awe. I'm so proud. Nagato said and trailed off. And scared of him at the same time. Yahiko finished? Yeah. Nagato and Yahiko agreed. They looked at their female friend who had stars in her eyes and a huge blush on her face. Konan? Are you alright? Beautiful. So beautiful, his art. She murmured. I never knew someone would be as indigenous as him. Konan? Why are you shaking? And you're breathing heavily. I just had an orgasm. Konan said as she stared dreamily at Naruto. Note to self, Konan loves explosions. Learn origami. Yahiko thought as he grinned. Nagato noticed his best friend's perverted look and also made a mental note. Yahiko's planning something. Stay away from him until he has mastered exploding origami. Somewhere. I sense a great disturbance in the force. A blonde teenage boy said as he sniffed the wind around him. The gods of explosion has spoken. I must find this kid and teach him the arts. Finally. Someone who appreciates art. The blonde said as he made small clay birds and sent them flying to a tree, exploding. Art is an explosion. He said as he cackled madly and created a giant clay bird. He stood on top of it as the bird took off. Apprentice. Wait for me. I'm going to find you. Uzukage office. Uzukage-sama. A voice hidden in the shadows spoke. Report. The woman inquired as he looked up from her desk. Hi. Our spies in Iwagakure saw the Chuchikage's granddaughter and another accomplice leaving the village. They followed the two and found them headed to Konoha. I see. So they have fallen to the bait. It's only two things. They will either try to kidnap Naruto and add him to their forces, turning him against the Leaf and also gaining his dormant bloodline, or, those two were sent to assassinate him in revenge to Minato for killing an entire army of their shinobi. Anything else? The Hyuga clan have decided to pit the heiress against a branch member who is believed to be a prodigy. Should the girl lose, her title as heiress will be taken away from her and she will be branded the caged bird seal, making the heiress' little sister the rightful heiress next. The current clan head believes that his daughter is a weakling and will lose against the branch member. He has already unofficially declared the younger girl as heiress. Tell Hikari to take care of the younger girl. She will know what to do. Hi. There's more. Our spies in Kumogakure has spotted 4 of the Raikage's highest-ranking shinobi leaving the village. Our spies tailed them and found them headed to Konoha as well. We believe that they will try to attempt kidnapping the Hyuga heiress. That's good. It's all good. Everything is going according to plan so far. Make sure that the Iwa and Kumo shinobi gets caught or spotted by Konoha snooping inside their village. The Leaf already suspects both villages for attacking them a week ago, thanks to the specific jutsus our raiding teams used. Should Konoha catch those Kumo and Iwa shinobi in their territory, the Leaf's suspicions will grow stronger and they will most likely become hostile to both villages, accusing them for attacking during a time of peace. Also, the Raikage and the Chuchikage will no doubt deny these accusations and will definitely be hostile to Konoha as well for being suspected it. Make sure that my orders regarding this issue reaches our spies in Konoha before the Iwa and Kumo shinobi arrive. Which means before this afternoon. The Uzukage said as she handed the spy a folder. Understood, Uzukage-sama. Before I leave, there's one last thing. Earlier this morning, Konoha admitted a woman to their hospital. Our spies in Konoha were not fooled and believe that the woman is also a spy trying to get to join Konoha's ranks. Nono asked to talk to me specifically and told me her concerns. She believes that the woman was sent by Orochimaru. She told me to ask you for orders regarding the woman. Orochimaru can wait. We are in an important situation at the moment. Tell her to keep an eye out for the snake's spy for now. Hi. I'll take my leave, Uzukage-sama. Thank you for the report. I'll hear from you again. She said as she returned her attention to her desk. Konohagakure borders, late afternoon time. Finally. We're here. Akechuchi panted. The two had been traveling almost non-stop ever since they left the village. They only stopped for water breaks and snacks. Heh. Yeah. Let's get some rest and wait until evening. It will be too risky to enter in broad daylight. Kurachuchi replied. But we need to know where the kid is. No problem. We can send mud clones ahead. Of course. Why didn't I think of that? You're a genius. Heh. I have to be smart if I'm marrying the cutie Naruto, right? Oh yeah, whatever. I thought you were not a fangirl. Hey, I'm not. He's the first guy I've ever fond with. Oh, SHHH. Earth style, mud clone. Earth style, mud clone. 2 clones materialized for each of the 2. You know what to do. Kurachuchi said as the clones nodded and left, while her partner started to make camp. 7 hours later after Hinata and Neji's match. Hinata woke up feeling like her world was spinning. She looked at her surroundings and noticed that she was at the hospital. She tried to sit up but still felt a little nauseous. Hinata-sama, you're awake. Here, drink this. It will take away your dizziness. As Hinata finished her drink, memories flooded back and she started crying. Father W was right. I am such a weakling. I lost. The girl said as she bawled her eyes out. SHHHH, Hinata-sama, you are going to be alright. Please don't cry. The nurse said. Just then, they heard voices on the opposite of the door. You can't do this. A familiar female voice said. No, she lost. She will now be branded with the caged bird seal. The cold voice of the Hyuga clan head said. At least give her some rest. It can wait tomorrow. No. I know what your plans are. You want to delay her branding and make an appeal to the Hokage. But since I am the clan head, I will do what I want. Remember that, Elder Hikari. You may be my dead wife's older sister but I am still Hinata's father. I have the power to order what happens to her. And my will is to get her branded with the seal. The door flew open with Hayashi kicking it. Hikari followed after the clan head as he strode inside the room. Nurse. I want her released now. We'll bring her to the compound. Oh of course, Hayashi-sama. Her condition is okay now. The nurse nervously said as she finished fussing over her patient. You may now go, Hinata-sama. Just try not to move too much for a day or your body will suffer pain. Your chakra points are still raw and still needs rest. Hi. Thank you, nurse-san. Hinata said as she stood up from her bed. She nearly fell down but a pair of warm arms caught her. Hikari Oba-chan. SHHH, it's alright, Hinata-chan. Let me help you. 1 hour later, Hyuga clan compound. The whole clan once again gathered around their private arena. This time, instead of watching a fight, they will witness for the first time someone from the main family, the heiress, to be exact, get branded with the caged bird seal. Hyuga Hinata. Hayashi called. You were deemed unworthy of being the next Hyuga clan head. You do not have the qualities of an heiress. You are weak. You are too soft. Your Byakugan is weak and does not look like the Byakugan at all. And lastly, you were defeated by a mere branch member. Therefore, I, Hayashi Hyuga, the clan head, will brand you the caged bird seal as your punishment. He said as 2 branch members stepped forward and held Hinata on both sides. Hayashi made a series of hand seals and pressed his palms on the crying girl. Hinata screamed in pain as she felt her head like it was going to explode. There was a green X-glow and then she felt her forehead like it was on fire. Soon the pain died out. Hinata has now been branded with the caged bird seal. Take her away. Hayashi ordered the 2 branch members. As Hinata was dragged away unconscious, the clan head called for Hanabi. As the girl stepped forward, he ordered for the crowd to stand up. Hyuga Hanabi, as the previous heiress was deemed unworthy, you are now the new Hyuga heiress. You shall accept this responsibility and do everything I tell you to become the perfect clan head in the future. I accept. I will become the new Hyuga heiress and will do everything I can to become the perfect clan head in the future. Hanabi said confidently. In the inside, she was actually nervous and did not want the title. She saw how the clan head and the elders tortured her sister Hinata during her trainings when she was still heiress. Her aunt Hikari talked to her earlier and gave her some confidence boost. Very well. Stand up and take this responsibility. Hayashi ordered. Hanabi stood up and then the crowd applauded for their new heiress. Outside the arena. Where are they? A voice whispered. I don't know. Someone replied. SHHH, someone's coming. Another one said. The voices hidden in the shadows watched as two Hyuga entered the villa carrying an unconscious girl. They watched as the two turned to another corridor. That's the heiress. Another voice said. Taijo, orders. K, L, stay here and take watch. M, with me. The captain and M followed the corridor where the heiress was brought. They searched each rooms and found the three Hyugas on the fifth room. The Kumo shinobi silently crept up to the two and slit their throats. The captain took out a sealing scroll and from it a sack appeared. With M's help, they stuffed the unconscious girl inside the sack, not noticing her forehead. Let's go. They returned to the area where they left K and L. That was easy. Let's get the hell out of here. Outside the Hyuga compound. Unknown to the four Kumo shinobi, they were being watched. They have the girl. They're heading outside. An Uzushio spy spoke to his radio. Send up the flare when they get near the Uchiha compound's gates. The Konoha patrols must be notified. The Iwa pair are also on the move. Good. The mob will form as soon as they see the boy. Uchiha compound. Sasuke just finished training and ran back to his house from the training grounds. When he got inside, he found his mother nowhere to welcome him. He silently looked around the house and went upstairs. He decided to go to his room to have his clothes changed. As he walked past his parents' room, he heard voices. Sasuke does not possess the fire of the Uchiha clan. He is too kind and is concerned of others. An Uchiha must always keep to himself. The voice of his father said. I know. Sasuke is such a weakling. I'm tired of looking after him. He is such a crybaby. Compared to Sasami, he is nothing. He might as well be banished from the clan and left for the orphanage. I do not want him. Mikoto said. Upon hearing this, Sasuke's heart broke. You too, mother. He thought as his eyes got blurry. He silently went downstairs as tears won't stop flowing from his eyes. He ran outside the house and outside the compound. He did not notice his surroundings and bumped into someone. Outside the Uchiha compound. That's them. Send the flare. A voice in the shadows said. Quickly. Let's go. The captain kidnapper said as he carried the bag where the unconscious Hinata was stuffed in. They were now in front of the Uchiha compound. As they ran, Kei bumped into someone. Oomph. Kei nearly stumbled and looked at what hit her. She glared at it and noticed it was a boy who looked the same age as the girl they were kidnapping. She noticed that he was wearing a shirt with the Uchiha crest on it. It's an Uchiha. Sasuke still haven't noticed that he was in danger as he was too heartbroken to care. Well. What do we have here? This must be a lucky day indeed. The captain said. M, we are taking the boy as well. L knocked the boy unconscious as M took out another sack. K helped her teammate stuff the unconscious boy inside the bag. This is great. We got the Hyuga heiress plus a bonus. We got an Uchiha. Raikage-sama will be pleased. K laughed. Hurry up. The Hyuga might have found the dead bodies by now. As if on cue, they heard the alarms ringing from the Hyuga compound. Oh, shit. Let's go. Iwa pair's camp, same time when the Kumo shinobi were still inside the Hyuga compound. The Iwa pair will go inside the village in about 2 minutes. They are now demolishing their camp. A voice in the shadows said. Good. Prepare the lure. Kurachuchi and Akechuchi took down their camp and headed inside the village. As they got inside the village, they immediately hid in the shadows and watched as they saw a mob carrying torches, pitchforks, kunais, and katanas. Die, demon brat! They screamed as they chased a blonde-haired boy. No! Please, have mercy. Why would we take mercy on a demon? You killed our family members, in return, you must die. The leader of the mob screamed as they pounced on the boy. The Iwa pair watched in horror as they started to beat the poor boy. Fuck. We need to help him. Kurachuchi screamed as she jumped out of her hiding spot, not waiting for her partner's answer. She made a series of hand seals and slammed the ground. Earth relays, Earth Dome. She said as a circular dome erupted around the blonde boy and covered him from his attackers. Doton, Kaido Shokutsu. Earth style, erupt, the ground where the mob shook and caused them to tremble and fall. A small hill erupted from where they stood, making them fly away. Akachuchi jumped to his partner's side and the two of them made 3 earth clones as the mob reformed and charged at them. They are the demon's saviors. Kill them. Earth release, Earth spikes. Both originals and clones said. Huge earth spikes erupted from the ground and skewered the mob. Those who survived the attack were killed by the clones via decapitation. Heh. Serves you right for attacking a defenseless child. Enjoy your stay in hell, fuckers. Kurachuchi said as she undid the earth dome and revealed an unconscious Naruto. Aww, I'm so sorry I let them attack you. Don't worry, you will be safe in Iwa. She said as she carried the boy. Let me carry him. You're the offensive type. And I'm more of the defensive type. If we get chased, it will be easier for the two of us and safer for the boy. Akachuchi offered. You're right. She agreed as she gently passed the boy to her partner. Let's go. The fastest and safest way is around the Uchiha compound. What the heck? A new voice said. The Iwa pair looked at the source of the voice and found another mob. Hey, look. That's the demon brat. They are the ones who did this. The leader of the second mob said, pointing to the dead bodies. After them. Outside the Uchiha compound, present time. Oh shit. Let's go. The captain shouted as M lifted the young Uchiha's sack. They were about to run when they heard a rustle from the bushes. Then out from it came 2 Iwa shinobis carrying an unconscious boy. About 10 seconds later, more footsteps were heard. There. That's them. They have the demon brat. The mob leader said as he pointed at the Kumo and the Iwa shinobi. Soon they were surrounded by the mob. Civilians to the rescue, eh? The Kumo captain scoffed. We found them. They are near the Uchiha compound's gates. A new voice said. All kidnappers turned and saw 2 Chunins with white eyes. What the dash? One of the Hyugas momentarily stopped as he recognized who were inside the bag and who the Iwa Kunoichi was carrying. That's Hinata-sama and Fugaku-sama's son, Sasuke, inside the bags. And they also got the demon brat. The other Hyuga said. Listen, Kurachuchi said, calling the attention of the Kumo captain, I don't know who you guys are exactly. But I can tell you're from Kumo. From what I can see, we are both kidnappers here. In a few minutes we will have whole of Konoha after our asses. As much as I hate to say this, but, we are going to need each other's help in order to fulfill our missions. We could help each other out until we get a safe distance from the leaf. After that we go our separate ways. No bullshit, no backstabbing. Deal. I'd really hate to admit it too, but, yeah. We could really use some help. So yeah, deal. Now, let's get the fuck out of here. The Kumo captain said. The Iwa pair nodded and left with the Kumo team. With a couple of Doton and Raiden jutsus, they easily killed the mob that surrounded them as they were only civilians. They were gone for a good 3 minutes before a dozen squads of Umbu, Uchiha, and Hyuga arrived. Bloody hell. These people are civilians. One of the Uchihas said. Please. Help me. All of them turned and saw a civilian who was barely breathing. It was the leader of the second mob. He had multiple bone fractures and his heart was impaled. They took the Hyuga heiress, Fugaku-sama's son. And the blonde kid. Kami-sama, please forgive me. The civilian whispered as his soul left his body. Before he died, he realized his mistake and finally figured out that the blonde boy whom they hated and tried to murder was actually a human and the container, not the Kyuubi no Yoko itself. This way, quick. The Hyugas said as they found the kidnappers with their Byakugan. They motioned for the others to follow and jumped into the bushes leading to the forest. Hokage office. Hokage-sama. A Jonin entered the office without knocking on the door. He was panting as he kneeled. The demon brat, the Hyuga heiress, and Fugaku-sama's youngest son were kidnapped. Dozens of dead bodies were found near the market district and the Uchiha compound gates. All of them were civilians. The Hyuga clan have also reported 2 dead Chunins whose throats were slit. The kidnappers have escaped through the forest from the Uchiha compound. A dozen squad are currently chasing them. Thank you. You may now leave. The Hokage said as he pointed at his crystal ball, indicating he already knew a part of the news. Hi. The Jonin bowed and left the office, closing the door. Sarutobi stood up from his seat and inhaled from his pipe. He faced the windows and looked at the village as he exhaled the smoke. Iwagakure and Kumogakure. Is this a coincidence? Or are they the ones responsible for the raid? Onaki. What are you two up to? The professor mumbled as he blew another from his pipe. Chapter 9, A Place to Call Home. Takigakure, same time the kidnapping was happening. This way, follow me. Fu whispered to her Uzu companions as they entered the village once again. They have made preparations and waited for nighttime to fulfill them. As someone who used to run and hide ever since she was able to walk and talk, Fu knew all the passages in the village. Be it a secret passageway or not, the girl knows about them as she had been there when hiding from mobs. Fu and the 4 storm crept into a narrow passageway hidden from the night patrols. There were only a few since the village was peaceful, except for the fact that they were hostile against one girl. There's nobody here. The captain of the team commented. You really know your way, huh? Of course. Now, we take this secret passage. This leads inside the Dakikage's mansion. Fu replied as she pointed at a corner with a small puddle of water. If someone would look closely, they will see nothing but a simply puddle of water. But in Fu's case, she found out about it. Fu and the Uzu retrieval team entered the secret passage. They got inside the mansion and immediately headed to the safe. With the use of some blood seals, they were able to open the safe and immediately created copies of the scrolls ranking from A to Kinjutsu. They took the original ones and placed the copies inside the vault. The copies will remain there just for the Takikage to see if he decides to check. Once he have checked the scrolls and found them there, the fake scrolls will vanish. They exited the mansion without a problem. They sneaked into the shack where the gathered heroes' water was being kept. They took everything and placed it inside a special sealing scroll and not a single drop was left from the container. We're done here. Thank you. Now, let's go to your place. Fu said as they got back inside the forest where they made camp for the day. Sounds good. Let's go. The captain nodded. They jumped off, leaving the village hidden in the waterfall behind. Takigakure, Konoha border. Fu and Storm's POV. The 5 were speeding back to Uzushiogakure when they felt 6 strong chakra signatures and 3 faint ones. Weird. I can sense my sister's chakra. But it seems faint. Incomplete. The Nanabe spoke through her container's mind. There's another one like me? Fu asked. Yes. And if I am not mistaken, it is the Kyubi. Nanabe said, not mentioning her sister's real name as it was a rule. The demon or demoness itself shall be the one to tell a mortal of their name. Halt. I sense a familiar chakra signature. The Uzu captain said as she and her 4 companions stopped. Nanabe said she can sense the Kyubi. Fu informed the 4 storm, making their eyes widen. Naruto-sama? What is this? The chakra signatures with him are not familiar. The captain muttered and then realized. Something has happened. Everyone, conceal yourselves. Fu, you stay away and hide. She barked to her teammates as they got into an ambush formation. Wait. What's happening? Are those people enemies? Fu inquired. Yes. The chakra signatures around Naruto-sama are not familiar. Naruto-sama? Who is he? Oh, right. You do not know. Well, he's like you, a Jinchuriki. He has the Kyubi no Yoko. We'll explain more about him later. For now you need to hide while we rescue him. The 6 chakra signatures with him are high Jonin level, in normal standards. Taijo. There are friendly chakra signatures chasing after them. One of the storm said. Wait. Normal standards? Fu asked, bewildered. We'll explain later. Hide and conceal your chakra, go. Fu nodded and went to find a spot to hide. The four storm activated their Rinnegan behind their masks and waited for their guests. Iwa and Kumo Shinobi POV. We're passing through the borders. The Kumo captain said as he adjusted the sack over his shoulder. They are still after us. We'll need to do something. Kurachuchi said. Let's stop here. K.L., watch over the kids. M, with me. We're fighting the pursuers. All right. Akechuchi, please watch over my future husband. Prepare to do support. Konoha pursuers POV. Unknown to the kidnappers, the Konoha shinobi have long stopped from pursuing them. Instead, it was the Ozunins who were chasing after them only wearing Konoha gear. Taijo. They have stopped. They are probably thinking of engaging us now. There are 4 friendly chakra signatures ahead them, and another strong one, unfamiliar. Wait, 4? And another strong one. That's the Nanabe Jinchuriki retrieval team. I think they have also sensed us and the ones we are pursuing. You there, I need you to go ahead around and inform the other team of the current situation. Quickly. Go. Hi. Real Konoha pursuers POV, earlier. Wait, no. Stop. A Hyuga shouted as a Chunin stepped on something. Boom. Damn it. This place is rigged with traps. If we go around they will be too far away to catch. An Uchiha said. We have no choice. We need to go around where there are no traps. I'm sure we can still catch them. Another one said. Well then, let's go. Before the pursuers could begin to move, they felt unfriendly chakra signatures around them and were many. Well. Looky here. We got some Konohanin inside our camp. A heavy raspy voice said. Heh. Let's kill them. Cackled by a high-pitched voice that sounded like a fangirl. The Konoha pursuers got into a defensive position and prepared. Damn it. We let ourselves get ambushed. Said by a Chunin. The Leaf found themselves surrounded as the owner of the voices came out. There were 100 of them. Bandits. Let's deal with them quickly. Oh. Looky. They think they can beat us. Let's show them why they should fear us. The leader said as they stepped out from the shadows of their hiding spots. As they surrounded the Konohanin, the Umbu recognized them. You're Kumo and Iwanin. So you really are working together. The Umbu commented. Heh. Quite right. The fangirly voiced male said. So the woman we admitted to the hospital earlier. Girl. Wait, I think I remember. Wearing a purple dress. Exactly. So she was telling the whole truth then. You ambushed her and her family. I must say, her father was a tough fighter. But we still managed to kill him. So you got our prize, we will take her from your hospital once we deal with you. The leader said as he drew his weapon, unsheathing 2 katanas. The other rogue nins followed him and unsheathed their weapons as well. May the best men win. The leader said as the rogue ninjas charged at the Konohanin. Fu retrieval squad POV, back to normal time. One friendly incoming. One of the hidden storm said as they felt one of their comrades' chakra signature. They waited until he came to their position and also hit himself. Finally. I got to you. Here's the situation. He said as he held out his palm to let his comrades know, showing them his memories of the kidnapping and the mission that was assigned to them. Flashback. Ka-chan. Naruto-kun. I would like to ask you something. This is very important. Please sit down. The Uzukage said as she motioned for her youngest to take a sit. All right, what is it, Ka-chan? Kurama-san needs to hear this as well. Okay. Naruto said as he concentrated and woke up his friend. Okay, she's listening. The Uzukage then told her son about Iwagakure, Kumogakure, and Konoha. She told him about the planned kidnappings and asked her son for some blood and chakra from Kurama that would be used for a Naruto blood clone. The girl who is going to get kidnapped is my goddaughter. Her mother, Hitomi, is an old friend of mine and was my teammate when I was still a genin. The reason why we're interfering is that she's part Uzumaki. There is a chance that her children might also have gained our bloodline. We cannot let it fall into the hands of another village. I understand. So the clone will be used as bait for Iwa. Yes. All right. I'll help. Naruto grinned as his mother hugged him in thanks. The Uzukage then motioned for the storm that was hidden and called for the team that was assigned for the mission. She then briefed them about the intervention they will be doing during the supposed kidnapping of the Naruto blood clone and the daughter of Hitomi, Hinata Uzumaki Hyuga. End flashback. I see. We were worried that the lost Maelstrom had been kidnapped again. Thanks for the information. The captain said and motioned for her team. All right. We're going to assist, retaking back, the kidnapped children as Konoha shinobi. Iwa and Kumo shinobi POV. Here they come. One of the Kumo shinobi said. Hand us over the children and we will our separate ways and forget this incident this ever happened. Like hell we will. Kurachuchi and the Kumo captain both said. All right then. The storm captain said as two of his comrades appeared, getting into a stance. You sure you guys want to fight us? Kurachuchi taunted. Not really. We just want the children back. You're not taking any children. These kids are ours now. And we will take them back to our village. Kei said. Die. The Kumo captain charged as he decided to cut the talk and fight. As the captain said the word, he and his comrades were sent away flying by an invisible force. The three storm immediately blinked and grabbed the children before another storm who was hidden cast the Shinra Tensei. Fu retrieval team. Okay, they got the children. The captain whispered through her radio. Prepare to spring the trap. They waited as the first team went to their direction with the children. The first team slowed down as they waited for the kidnappers to recover and spot them, only to lead them into the trap. They got our packages. The one who was carrying Sasuke earlier said. After them. I did not come this far only for the mission to fail. Kurachuchi screamed. As the kidnappers got into the trap perimeter, the second storm team who were hidden in a square formation activated it. Fun, false world. The kidnappers found themselves surrounded by a huge group of Konoha shinobi and got into a stance. They battled for a good 10 minutes and destroyed the forest in the process. Raiden and Doton Jutsus fought against Katon. In the end they stood no chance against the Byakugan and the Sharingan. Their Tenketsu points were sealed off and they were hit by the Uchiha's Katon Jutsus. Before they lost consciousness, they saw the Konoha and fell dead around them. Normal POV. The 8 Storm plus 1 Jinchuriki came out of their hiding spots and checked on the kidnappers. They'll be out for about 3 hours. We will be very far away from them then. The first captain, fake Konoha team, said. Is it over? A muffled voice asked. The storm remembered about the children and opened the bags, revealing the Naruto Kai Bunshin, a crying Hyuga, and a young Uchiha who looked like he was in a daze. I see it's over then. The Naruto clone said as he inspected the area and prepared to dispel himself. All right then. Good job. I'll report to the boss now. Wait. Fu shouted at Naruto. Huh. Are you the Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi? The blood clone did not respond and stared at the storm questioningly. My name is Fu. I'm the Jinchuriki of the Nanabi. She felt your chakra inside you so she told me about you. I see. Well, to clarify things, I'm just a clone. A percentage of blood and chakra that came from my son and the Kyuubi were used to create me. Most of the blood used was from my original. Wait. Fu asked, totally confused. The Naruto clone chuckled and formed a hand sign. There was a poof of smoke and from where the Naruto clone was, a beautiful woman with long red hair now stood. I'm sure your rescuers have already told you about us being on good terms with Jinchuriki. My son, Naruto, is the Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi. I am the leader of the village that you are going to. My name is Uzumaki Namikaze Kushina, Shodaime Uzukage of the new Uzushiogakure. Uzumaki? Uzushiogakure? Fu's eyebrows scrunched as she got into a deep thought. I think I've read those names before. SHHH, we'll talk more about that later. For now you need to move. You will meet my son later. She smiled as she made a hand sign and dissolved into a puddle of blood. The blood soon dissipated into smoke. We need to get moving. The pickup area is an hour's worth of travel ahead. The first captain said. The kids looked distraught. What happened to them? The second captain inquired. The girls gone into a tough experience. He replied, not elaborating as they already knew about Hinata. We do not know about the boy. We need to check him first. He may be a kid but we cannot just trust someone from Konoha. Yeah, you're right. He said as he placed his palm on top of the boy's head and scanned through Sasuke's memories. Oh dear. Poor boy. He mumbled as he unplaced his hand from the boy's head and held it out for his teammates to see. Oh. Poor boy indeed. We'll take him with us. Naruto-sama and he will be great friends. Uzukage-sama will be pleased about him as well. Let's go. Just cast a sleeping jutsu on them. 1 hour later. They had been running non-stop for an hour and slowed down as they approached a huge waterfall. We're here. The first captain said as he walked inside into an opening that was behind the waterfall. This is Uzushiogakure? You're located inside a waterfall. Fu asked, feeling incredulous. However, she still followed inside and heard someone laughing. This is just the pickup point. From here I'm going to transport you to Uzushiogakure. A new voice said as he stopped laughing. Fu looked for the owner of the voice and found a man with long blonde hair wearing a white cloak with flame patterns on the bottom of it. Hello, Fu. My name is Minato Namikaze. I'm the Uzukage's husband. You look like an elder version of Naruto. Minato chuckled and replied, haha yes. You'll finally meet him later. He said as he stared at the two sleeping children the storm was carrying. Poor kids. They need immediate medical treatment. I'll take them first. He said as the storm gently laid them on the ground. Minato carried Hinata over his left shoulder while he carried Sasuke on his right. Fu's jaw dropped as the man vanished in a yellow flash along with the children he was carrying. What the dash? After about 10 seconds, there was another yellow flash of lightning. Alright, hold hands everyone. We're going to Uzushiogakure. Uzushiogakure, Uzukage office. Whoa. Fu gasped. What was that? That was my high ration. Minato replied as Fu took in her surroundings. Welcome home, Fu. The Uzukage greeted, calling the attention of everyone. Uzukage-sama, I do thank you for the warm welcome. I also thank you for sending people to take me away from Taki. Fu said as she bowed. I cannot just do nothing knowing that someone like you isn't treated very well. From now on, Uzushiogakure will be your home. I know what you've been through, so I understand it will take you time to get used to our village. As you grow older, you will know why the Uzumakis are friendly with the tailed beasts and their Jinchuriki. For now, I want you to enjoy your stay here. You will be living in the mansion with us. The Uzukage said as she now turned to the storm who now kneeled. You 8 have done Uzushiogakure a great service. I thank you and commend you for doing your duty well. You will receive twice the pay of an S-rank mission. I want a full report of your mission tomorrow afternoon. Dismissed. Hi. Thank you, Uzukage-sama. The storm bowed and shined out of the office. Just then, the office door opened revealing a panting blonde boy. Ka-chan. Naruto squeaked as he entered the room. Naruto-kun, what is it? Kushina asked, a bit worried. Minato immediately ushered after him and led him into a seat. Kurama-chan told me she felt her sister's chakra. So I went to tell you. The boy said, still not noticing the green-haired girl in the room. Oh. Well, I wanted to surprise you both. But I guess it can't be helped. The Uzukage said as she motioned for Fu to come near. Naruto-kun, please meet Fu. Fu, meet my youngest son, Naruto. It's her. She's really sealed inside him. Komei said excitedly. Naruto-kun, my sister is sealed inside her. Like you, Fu is also a Jinchuriki. She has the Nanabi. Kurama told Naruto. It's nice to meet you, Fu-chan. Kurama-chan also says she missed Komei-san. It's also nice to finally meet you, Naruto-sama. Hey, wait. Not you too. Please, no sama. You may call me by name. After all, we're technically siblings in a manner of, status. Alright then, Naruto-kun. Fu said cheerfully. Kurama-chan says she would like to talk to her sister. Naruto said as he raised his right fist and waited for his new sister to fist bump with him. Fu understood what he wanted and bumped fists with her brother. As they connected, a mental link was formed that allowed the two demons to talk each other. As the sisters talked through the link, the Uzukage cleared her throat and talked. Fu. I understand that you do not have a family. So, what do you think of being part of our family? She asked. Family. Yes. Family. From now on, you will be treated as our own daughter. What do you think? Minato asked. Me? You want to adopt me? Yes. Minato and Kushina replied. Yes. Fu squealed in happiness as tears won't stop from flowing down her face. I finally have a family. I've always wanted a family. And I got a brother too. Well then, how does Uzumaki Namikaze Fu sound? I like it. Ka-chan. To-chan. She said as she hugged her new parents. Yay. I got another sister. Naruto cheered as he joined the group hug. Now, I know you two are probably tired and hungry, so we're going out together with the rest of the family and introduce you to them. Kushina said as she made a clone to do her paperwork. Ramen. Naruto cheered happily as they exited the office. Afternoon time, Uzushiogakure Hospital. Hinata's room. Uzukage-sama, their health condition is fine now. The boy is still asleep because of the medicine we gave him when he woke up earlier crying. The girl should wake up in a few moments. The nurse said as she led the Uzukage and Minato into Hinata's room. Ugh. Hinata mumbled as she slowly opened her eyes. She looked at her surroundings and realized she was at the hospital. She hasn't noticed the two people standing near her bed yet. Hello, how are you? A voice asked, making the girl squeak in surprise. Oh. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to startle you. Kushina said gently. My name is Uzumaki Namikaze Kushina. I had you saved from being kidnapped by Kumo. Do not worry, you're safe now. Your wounds have been also healed. Please, let me stay here. I don't want to go back to them. She whispered as she curled into a ball and started to cry. Shhhh, don't worry, Hinata, I'm not sending you back. Did you know I'm your godmother? As your godmother, I'm not going to let any more harm come to you. I will protect you. Godmother. Yes, Hinata-chan. Hitomi named me your godmother before we got separated. You know my Ka-chan. Yes, I did know her. Your mother and I were best friends. She was also my teammate back when we were genin until we made jonin. See, can you tell me more about her? Of course. Kushina said as she smiled warmly at the girl. For the past hour, she spent it by telling Hinata stories about Hitomi. When she was done, Hinata was once again crying. I miss her so much. She sniffled as Kushina embraced her. Hinata unconsciously touched her forehead and rubbed it. It doesn't hurt anymore. She whispered as her godmother released her from the hug. The caged bird seal has been removed from you. I took the liberty of having it removed when you were still asleep. Kushina informed the girl, making her cry again, but this time, Hinata cried in relief. Thank you. Hayashi will pay for doing this to you. Also, do not worry about your sister. I'll have someone take care of her and keep her away from harm. Hinata nodded in thanks and relaxed. Just then, the door opened and more people who looked like Minato and Kushina went inside. Ka-chan. Is she awake? May I see her now? Naruto asked excitedly. You. Hinata pointed to the boy as her face turned red. Kushina became worried that Hinata might have been brainwashed about her son as well, and got ready to defend her youngest. I never knew your name. She mumbled. Uzumaki Namikaze Naruto. The future Uzukage. Believe it. Hi. Na Naruto-kun. I never got the chance to thank you. Thank me for what? Naruto asked as he sat on Hinata's bed, making the girl blush even more. You saved me. You my. Naruto-kun. She stuttered as she lost consciousness, fainting. She meant to say, "You're my hero," but due to Naruto being too close to her, her mind overloaded and caused her to faint. "You're my Naruto-kun." What? Narumi, who was also there, giggled. "Heh, I always knew our Naruto-kun's the lady killer." Minako snickered. "Wow. We found another member of our Otauto's fan club." Miho and Mio both said at the same time as they also giggled. "Wow, son. That was impressive." Minato thought as he also grinned. "So they have met before? I wonder what happened the first time they met." Kushina thought. "So. Naruto-kun, care to explain?" I really don't know what you mean." I. Everyone turned to the girl as she regained consciousness. He has saved my life. When I was 3 years old." Flashback. It was a night of festival in Konoha. A celebration was held as the ambassador of Kumo arrived for the peace talks and the possible alliance between both villages. As for Naruto, it was just a normal night for him as he just escaped another mob that was trying to murder him. As he turned into a corner, he did not realize he was near the Hyuga compound. The boy immediately jumped in alarm and hid as he heard hushed whispers. "Quickly! We need to get out of this village now." Naruto, being the child he was, got curious and went out from his hiding spot and checked out the voices. "What are you doing?" he asked as he approached 2 people with the other one carrying a crying girl. "Help me!" the girl cried as she heard Naruto's voice. "Hey, let her go." "What are you doing to her?" Naruto demanded. "Get lost, kid," one of the kidnappers said as he hit the boy in the head, knocking him out. "No. What did you do to him? You're bad people. You killed him. Come on, we need to go," the one who hit Naruto said. "You're not going anywhere." The kidnappers nearly jumped in fright as they heard a voice that carried a very strong aura. They turned around and noticed the blonde boy floating in midair with his head hung low. As he raised his head and glared at the kidnappers, the Kumonin knew they were going to die. They stared in awe and in total fear as the unconscious floating boy opened his eyes, revealing purple ones with ring patterns on it. The blonde boy vanished and reappeared beside the one carrying the girl and gently grabbed her from him. He once again vanished and reappeared in front of the kidnappers about 5 meters away from them. It happened so fast that the Kumonin did not know what happened and only realized it when they saw the boy in front of them carrying the girl they were kidnapping. He quickly set the girl down and stared at the kidnappers. They were about to charge at the boy when he raised both arms with his hands opened. Shinra Tensei. Heavenly subjugation of the omnipresent God or almighty push. The kidnappers were blasted off from their feet by an invisible force, causing them to crash into a wall. Banshotenin, heavenly attraction of all creation or universal pull. About a second passed after they crashed into the wall. They felt themselves being pulled to the boy this time. Take notice that there was no interval. Naruto caught the 2 in their necks and choke slammed them to the ground. "Ningendo, human path," he said as he placed each hand on top of their heads in a grip-like hold. He raised his arms as he pulled the souls of the 2 kidnappers, immediately causing their bodies to drop dead. "You're safe now," he told the girl as he turned to her and helped her get up to her feet. "Your family will be arriving soon, I can sense them." Naruto started to walk away but smiled at the girl before he left the area. The girl was fascinated with the boy's purple eyes. Hinata will forever remember this incident and wait to see her savior once again and to thank him. Ever since the failed kidnapping, she had developed a liking for Naruto. End flashback. HEW was so amazing. He defeated the bad guys, she said, no longer stuttering. Those who were listening to her story, however, were silent. Kushina excused herself and went outside. As she got out of the room, she couldn't hold it back and finally broke down crying. Her sobs were heard by the people inside and Minato immediately went after his wife. I should have known. Our baby boy. He's been through a lot already. For someone such as him to be able to awaken it at age 3. I will never forgive Konoha for this. She said as she sobbed. Naruto, meanwhile, was a little confused. He could not remember fighting the Kumo kidnappers. He only remembered trying to figure out what they were doing and then blacking out when one of them hit him in the head. He was now close to figuring out when he heard his mother crying. What is she talking about? Based on the girl's story, he battled the kidnappers by sending them away flying and back, defeated them by touching their heads. Kushina also said something about him awakening something. Has Naruto-kun awakened it? How come I never noticed? Kurama thought silently as she was also listening to the story. She was pacing inside her mansion that Naruto made for her. I need to look into this memory. The Rinnegan, it normally awakens when an Uzumaki reaches the age 18. If the person undergoes harsh training, he or she could awaken it earlier. In extreme cases, like the Uchiha clan's manga Kyushari Nan, the Rinnegan can be also awakened if the person experiences very traumatic physical, mental, and emotional pain. This was the case for Naruto. Is that Ka-chan? Why is she crying? Naruto asked his siblings worriedly. They understood why their mother was very hurt at the moment and decided not to disturb her while their father tried to comfort her. Ka-chan's alright. I think it was just someone else who sounded like her. Don't worry, Naruto-kun. Minako said. Are you sure? The boy asked, doubtful of his brother's answer. Yeah, we're sure. Narumi said as she smiled at Naruto. Okay then. Naruto decided to ask about his mother because he was sure he felt his mother's distressed emotions. For now he just pretended to believe his older siblings. You know, Naruto, there is also this boy admitted to the other room. He was also from Konoha. Would you and Hinata like to meet him? Narumi asked as she tried to divert the attention from their mother. Do you know him, Hinata-chan? Naruto asked the girl. The girl shook her head and told him she thought she was the only one who'd been kidnapped. Alright then, let's go meet him. He said cheerfully as Mio and Miho led them to another door that led to the next room. Narumi went to the other door that their parents used to check on her mother. Minako waited until Naruto and the others got inside Sasuke's room before following after his older sister. Sasuke's room. The young Uchiha could be seen staring at the wall opposite his bed. He knew he was kidnapped and was saved and was brought to another village. He was currently thinking of his family, or if he should still call them his family. His father and his siblings never showed any kind of affection for him, while his mother also said she no longer wanted him. When he got out of the compound and bumped into the Kumo kidnapper, he knew he was in danger but shrugged it off because a huge part of him wanted to get kidnapped and be taken away from Konoha. When he regained consciousness, he now found himself in a foreign place. Although new, he felt the people were friendly and nice to him. He had already developed a liking to the new place he currently was and couldn't wait to get out his bed to make a tour. He was interrupted from his thoughts when he heard the door of his room open. Hello. May we come in? A familiar blonde boy poked his head inside and asked him. Sure, please come in. Sasuke said as he got into a sitting position. Hello, I'm Uzumaki Namikaze Naruto. The blonde said as he came near his bed and offered a hand. Sasuke shook it and smiled. He finally recalled who the boy was. My name's Uki. My name's Sasuke. He did not tell his surname because deep inside he knew he was already an outcast and his parents no longer wanted him. An Uchiha, huh? Kurama said through Naruto's mind. She immediately perked up when she heard the boy mention Uki. She knew it was Uchiha if he finished it. The boy also looked familiar as he strongly resembled the human being she hated the most. I finally got to know you. I've always wanted to get to know you, you know. Oh, wow. Really? Yeah. I saw you a couple of times being chased by a mob. I'm so sorry about that, I really wanted to help you, you know? I know you're not a demon despite what they say. Never mind that. You do not have to apologize. You did me no wrong. But I really wanted to help. HMMPF, I'm thinking Sasami was right. I'm too weak. And if I'm too weak, I cannot help myself and others. Hey, we're still young. We can still get stronger. You're right. Anyway, I'd like to ask you if you'd like to be friends with me. Friends? Of course. I like friends. You know, someone once told me that having friends also means having someone to motivate you to become stronger so you can protect them. That's great then. Sasuke cheered happily. He now noticed 3 other people who entered the room after Naruto. Oh, I'm so sorry I haven't been talking to you. Oh. It's alright. Don't worry about it. Mio and Miho said. A polite Uchiha besides Tobi? Now that's new. They both thought as they looked at the boy. Hello. I am Hinata. The girl said as she stuttered a little. Hi. I'm Sasuke. I remember you, you're also from Konoha. Yes. But I'm no longer wanted there. And I've already decided I'm staying here. You too, huh? Yeah. So your clan also banished you? Pretty much, yeah. I guess I can also call this place my new home now. He said as he looked at Naruto. Where are we? I guess I can trust you. We are in Uzushiogakure no Sato. And this village is literally hidden since no other village know it still exists. Still exists. For the next hour, with the two promising not to tell anybody, Naruto spent the time by explaining to Sasuke and Hinata the story about Uzushiogakure, including Konoha's betrayal and the village's supposed downfall back during the war. Mio and Miho excused themselves earlier to check on their mother. Wow. I knew there was something wrong in Konoha. And I was right. They are players and traitors. And wow, Naruto, your clan must be very strong to be able to defeat 3 armies. I guess so. Their thoughts were interrupted when they heard their stomachs growl. Hee. We're all hungry. I know a good place where we can eat. Follow me. Naruto said as he led the 2 out of the hospital and headed to Ichiraku's Uzukage office. So Naruto-kun's awakened the Rinnegan. Minato said as he leaned on a wall. Yes. But it's been dormant. I could not sense it in him as active. I do not know what exactly happened. I need to watch the memory. Kushina replied as she massaged her head while she sat behind the desk. We need to ask Hinata for it. Yes, we will. But the girl has yet to recover first. She's been through a traumatizing incident. Naruto's siblings were also inside the room listening to their parents' conversation. They were worried about their younger brother as well. They had been trying to figure out Naruto's case of Rinnegan. Ichiraku's. Naruto led Sasuke and Hinata out of the hospital and started to walk towards his favorite restaurant. Along the way, he saw Fu near someone's garden and was watching the insects. Yo, Fu-ne-chan. Fu looked up and saw her little brother and 2 other kids with him. Hello, Naruto-kun. Where are you going? We're going to Ichiraku's. Ne-chan, meet my new friends, Hinata and Sasuke. Hinata, Sasuke, this is my sister Fu. Hello, Hinata-san, Sasuke-san, it's nice to meet you. It's nice to meet you too. Ne-chan, would you like to come with us? Alright. Let's go. The 4 children talked along the way to Ichiraku's. As they got there, Naruto was the first to enter the restaurant. Good afternoon, Teiuchi-san. Oh. Good afternoon, Naruto-sama. Teiuchi-san. I thought you said you'll no longer call me that. Haha. I'm just kidding, Naruto-kun. Ayame-chan. Come out here. Look who visited us today. The restaurant owner said as he called for his daughter over the counter. Oh. It's you, Naruto-kun. Ayame said as she came out of the kitchen. And you brought friends? Yeah. They are new here to Uzushio. Excuse me, Naruto-kun. Teiuchi said as he turned to his daughter. Ayame-chan, you're relieved for the day. Accompany Naruto-kun and his friends. That's great. Thanks Teiuchi-san. Naruto cheered happily as they found a table for 5 persons. This is Fu. We're not blood related but I consider her as my sister. Naruto said while indicating a little bit on his stomach, silently telling Ayame the message so Hinata and Sasuke won't know. At least he would not tell them yet. Oh, I see. That's nice. I'm Ichiraku Ayame. It's a pleasure meeting you, Fu. So what number are you? Ayame asked Fu while winking. Fu's eyes widened as she realized what Ayame was asking her. She smirked at her as she replied, 7. This is Sasuke and Hinata. They are also from Konoha. While Fu's from Taki. Naruto, Sasuke, Hinata, Fu, and Ayame spent the afternoon sharing stories about their lives back from their previous villages. They got closer to each other as they found themselves having each experienced an awful life. Although Fu had the worst while Naruto had the worst. Konoha Council Meeting. The Hokage was now having a strong headache. If he had problems to worry about for the last few days, he was now facing more. Sarutobi have decided to call for another meeting regarding the events that has transpired last night, and also excluded the civilian council. He just wanted to talk to the shinobi council as the matters were more related to military than civil. Alright. Now let us get this started. Yesterday morning, 2 gate guards called for a medic team and had a woman admitted to the hospital. I also came to the gate when the team was summoned. From what the women have said, she was from a traveling family that were also merchants. They got ambushed just a few kilometers away from our main gate. The ambushers, apparently, were not regular bandits. They were Kumo and Iwarujnin. The Hokage said as he blew on his pipe and stared at Hayashi. Hayashi. I want to know what happened about your clan. Sarutobi said. Although he had an idea it was about the caged bird seal, he wanted to know more. The Hyuga elders and I have seen Hinata unfit as heiress. An agreement was made that should she lost against Neji, a branch member, Hinata will be stripped off her title as heiress and will be branded the caged bird seal. The fight between the two occurred yesterday. She lost the fight and it was I myself who branded her with the seal. I proclaimed Hanabi as the new heiress. He said as he straightened up on his seat and cleared his throat. After the branding, I had 2 branch members escort her out. After the ceremony about Hanabi all Hyugas returned to their own businesses. Only a few minutes passed, another member reported about the deaths of the 2 branch members. There was no sign of battle. We found their heads slit from their bodies. They had been killed silently. We figured that the killers had been inside the compound ever since the match started. Thank you for telling me that. Now Fugaku, tell me about your side. The murder of about 30 civilians happened near your compound. The Hokage said while glaring at the Uchiha head. Well, I was having a meeting with my wife. We were interrupted when some of the patrol reported to me about a recent slaughter of civilians that was near the marketplace. When they went to investigate, they spotted a group of Hyugas along the way. They were told about the 2 murders before 2 of them spotted the ones responsible near the Uchiha compound. They identified the 3 children the Iwa and Kumonin got inside their bags. One of them being the Cuba brat. When we chased after them, we were surrounded by more Kumo and Iwanin and had to battle our way out since they were too many. So the woman was not lying then. Those rogues you fought were probably the ones responsible for killing her family. Yes. They mentioned something about us admitting a woman to the hospital. They threatened us of hitting the village so we had to fight them. By the time we killed every last one of them, the kidnappers were already too far away and we could not locate them. I see. So Kumo and Iwa have teamed up to kidnap 1 Hyuga, 1 Uchiha, and our ultimate weapon. Shikaku. Sarutobi said as he turned to the lazy head. Tisk. This is too troublesome. But I'll put this together. So. Last week, we got a surprise raid from unknown attackers. The raid resulted multiple property damage and stolen important items, 3 elders put into a coma and the whole village got into an epidemic. The most notable part here is that the Namikaze and the Uzumaki mansions were destroyed, and the Yondaime's face on the mountain was blown up. Back then, we had no idea who the attackers were. We had our suspicions on Kumo and Iwa since the jutsus that were used were pure Doton and Raiden. Kumo was also suspected because of their hate on Uzumaki Kushina for single-handedly destroying their army. Iwa is also a candidate because of their hate on the Yondaime for also single-handedly wiping out their army. Then this incident happened yesterday. A traveling woman was admitted to our hospital because of rogue shinobi attacking her family and caravan. Night came, Kumo Nin were spotted trying to flee with the Hyuga heiress and Fugaku-san's youngest son. Iwa Nin were also spotted carrying the demon brat. They easily killed off civilians that were trying to attack the brat. The kidnappers were able to flee the village while Konoha Nin followed them. As the Konoha Nin tried to get to the kidnappers, they were ambushed by bandits that are now identified as Kumo and Iwa rogue nins. The Leaf had been forced to kill all Nuke Nins, but the kidnappers had successfully fled back to their village with the children they took. The Nara head stopped and yawned lazily before continuing. So to sum this up, Iwa and Kumo are probably working together and are the ones responsible for the raid. Yes. The chances for them being the suspects have been raised to 90% from 70%. The Hokage said. What are your plans, Hokage-sama? What are we going to do with Kumo and Iwa? We cannot go into a physical confrontation yet. For now we will try to pressure them in political ways. We'll insist on them giving us back what they have taken. But we will also prepare for war. Just discreetly. I want everyone in active duty on high alert. All Chunin and Jonin that has a Genin team must double their training. As of this day, I want both Uchiha and Hyuga clan working together for the security. With the help of the Byakugan, trespassers will have a harder time sneaking in. All clan heads nodded in agreement. Meanwhile, Shikaku Nara was silently thinking. Kumo and Iwa Nin. They destroyed the Yondaime's monument as well as the Namikaze and the Uzumaki estates. The kidnapping of Hyuga Hinata and Uchiha Sasuke I could understand, since they came from two clans with the most powerful dojutsu here in Konoha. What bothers me here is that demon brat. Why would they want it? What would they gain? Aside from it being a demon, there must be something else. That's it for part 3. Thank you for watching and see you on the next video.